Today we're making a floating vanity out of live edge walnut. This is a surprisingly easy DIY project that starts with a bathroom sink. I ordered this sink off of Amazon and I wanted to check all the measurements before I got started. Basically, I'm going to build a really simple plywood structure and then clad it with this live edge walnut slab. This piece of walnut was really gnarly and it wasn't professionally kiln dried. It was twisted, had cracks, but it only cost me $180. I started by identifying the piece that I want to use for this wraparound apron that will give the vanity its identity. I cut the piece about a foot longer than it's ultimately going to need to be, but that's okay because the waste will be used as cutting boards. This project centers around making two 45-degree angled cuts. And this was really challenging because the wood is a little over 2 inches thick and there was tension in it, meaning that it kept squeezing down and clamping onto my circular saw blade. I had to keep sticking a metal ruler into the cut behind the blade, but in retrospect I should have taken Chris Salomone's advice and just cut about 1 inch deep at a time. I finally got all the way through, and now I can cut the second angle, and I'm basically removing a V-shaped small chunk of wood so that the grain will be continuous as it wraps around the corner. There was a couple spots where there was about 1/8 of an inch of wood, and I just finished this off with my handsaw. I cleaned up these 45-degree miters with my portable belt sander. It has a steel plate under the sandpaper, so you can get a nice flat surface. I then cleaned up the slabs with my Orbital sander, just sanding to about 150 grit, and rounded over those live edges just a little bit. For the structure, I'm just using 3/4 inch furniture grade plywood. I use a straight edge clamped down to guide the circular saw, and after cutting through that thick and gnarly walnut, this was nice and easy. I glued 2 pieces of plywood together to make these laminated beams. Thicker pieces like this are easier to assemble and they give quite a bit of strength. Built up plywood like this tends to stay straighter and flatter than 1.5 inch thick construction lumber. So even though it's a little more work, I like using it because it gives me solid reference points for adding more squirrely materials. Now I can cut these doubled up pieces together, scrape away any glue squeeze out, and then glue and screw them together. You can do this with finished screws so that the heads go in flush to the surface of the plywood, but I really like using pocket holes if you have a pocket hole jig. I find just for basic stuff, it's one of the easiest way to build. These quick clamps also come in really handy, so you don't have to hold the pieces together while you're driving the screws. This structure is all going to be hidden, but just to make it a little more durable, I painted it with just white paint. I hate trusting glued up miter corners, so I went a bit overkill and cut a 2-inch piece of angle steel to make a custom heavy-duty steel bracket. Now you could just buy a regular L bracket, but I find these steel angles are pretty true and they're just so strong. Angle grinders add one more step of complexity than just the basic DIY tools of circular saws, sanders, and drills, but I find they're an excellent catalyst that really lets you up-level your designs. I assembled the cabinet and I had to take into account the thickness of the walnut so that you won't see any of this white painted plywood between the sink and walnut. I placed the slab so I could start seeing how everything was going to fit together, and right away I saw a problem. My plywood structure is getting in the way of where I want the steel bracket to go, so no big deal, just got out the circular saw and cut off a piece. This glue up is really critical, so I'm temporarily screwing the plywood to the walnut and then clamping in the steel angle. I'm just putting screws through the steel and into the short piece of walnut before applying glue and screwing through the plywood and into the long piece of walnut. These screws are sort of acting as the clamps, and you want to make sure and check that your screws aren't going to poke through the wood. I'm doing this all on top of a piece of 3/4 inch melamine. That gives me a perfectly flat surface, which keeps my pieces lined up, and it also makes glue cleanup pretty easy. I also prefer working off of the floor. I just find workbenches need to be so big, and you get better visibility when things are low. Now with everything in place, I can trace against the plywood and see where I need to trim this live edge apron so that it goes wall to wall. I really like this project as sort of an in-between a classic DIY build and beginner level woodworking. Live edge pieces like this made out of solid domestic hardwood would be really expensive to get custom and hard to mass produce and sold cheaply. So I feel like it allows you to get like a personal touch to your home without having a full wood shop. But man, this walnut was tough. Even on these short pieces, it was really just squeezing down around the blade. So I had to wedge the chisel in there to create a little bit of a gap. I had a bit of glue squeeze out, so that required some sanding, but now I was ready to sand everything to 220 grit. For the finish, I'm using Rubio Monocoat in Pure. It's a fantastic finish. It's a bit on the pricey side, but I really like its combination of the way it looks and its durability. Also, very easy to apply. Alright, now I'm ready for a test fit. Cut a board that would set the cabinet at the right height, check to make sure everything was fitting around the pipes, and thought that I was going to hit a stud because I used my stud finder, but the screws weren't really grabbing onto anything. So I put some drywall anchors just temporarily. I want to get it situated, double check that the sink fits and that everything's going to come out nicely, but was realizing I was going to have to cut away some of the drywall and reinforce in between the studs so that this floating vanity will be rock solid. Now that the cabinet's in place, I can also do field measurements for the plywood support that's going to go right underneath the sink itself. I kept holding up the sink to the plywood, tracing it, and then cut out a pretty blobby shape and realized that with all the cutouts for the sink, this top piece of plywood wasn't going to be very strong. But first, I really want to focus on the structural connection to the wall itself. So I cut away the drywall and saw that my stud finder was actually reading off of a drain pipe. So no big deal. Cut some 2x4s, put in some pocket holes on either ends, and that's going to make it nice and easy for me to screw these 2x4s horizontally stud to stud. This definitely created some extra steps which are kind of annoying, but when you're dealing with pipes in the wall, you shouldn't just be screwing around blindly. And cutting drywall isn't too difficult, it's just a lot of steps and a little bit messy. I screwed in the drywall patch, taped over the seams, and applied some lightweight mud. None of this is going to be visible, but I still gave it a sanding just to make sure everything's nice and flat. Now I can place the plywood structure in for reels, and then screw in that double layer of plywood with cutouts for the sink and for the faucet on top. Now I want to add just a little bit more reinforcement. So I got a 3/4 inch piece of angle steel, drilled some holes in it, and since this steel had been sitting outside for a while, I used my angle grinder to just brush off a lot of the rust. The sink is all one piece, so it's not like this steel is going to get hit with water, but just to be safe, I spray painted it. Steel angle reinforces the plywood, but still fits nicely under the sink. Did another quick check fit. I do a lot of these. It may seem unnecessary, but I just like to be sure that everything's going to come together on the final assembly. Did a final touch up with the paint, and Jesse and I were ready to install the walnut. Everything fit really nice, and I held it in place while Jesse drove in screws from the inside. This came out real solid, like zero wiggle at all. I placed the sink and I thought about adding silicone underneath it, but I felt like it looked cleaner without it, and I hate cleaning silicone caulk. So we went ahead and installed the faucet, and here's the finished product after 18 months of use. There hasn't been any issues with the lack of caulk, and the Rubio Monocoat is holding up nicely. Honestly, I was anticipating more problems, and that wood edge under the sink will probably get beat up over time, but it's so chunky I can just occasionally sand it down, and that's the beauty of Rubio, is you can just add it over the top. I absolutely love this as a DIY project. It's in between rustic modern and basic DIY, and if you ever visit Maker Ranch, you'll see it because it's in the guest bathroom.